Thank you, Philip, for that great introduction. I'm now going to talk about one of the greatest inventors in American history, Thomas Edison. When we first start thinking about starting our homework, the first thing that we do is reach for the light. And we turn on the light, and the light bulb turns on. Thomas Edison was actually the creator of the light bulb. Edison was a revolutionary inventor of his time, but in America's history as well. His inventions are still being used today. Thomas Edison had a very difficult childhood, but nonetheless, he prospered to be one of the greatest inventors, and he is still remembered today. Edison was born in the mid-1800s and faced many obstacles as a child. Early scarlet fever left Thomas Edison partially deaf in both ears. He also faced an injury on a train, which kept him from regaining most of his hearing for the rest of his life. According to A&E Network on biography.com, both of these injuries created many problems in his childhood. He had a lot of problems with development as well as school. Edison's parents were having trouble with the government as well. His dad was constantly in and out between Canada and New Jersey. His dad was an army man, and therefore his loyalties were lying in the wrong places at the wrong times at times, and this caused the family to be separated multiple times. Because of his problems with his health and family issues, Thomas Edison's mom pulled him out of public school, and he finished the rest of his schooling at home. This hindered his development and stopped him from living a normal childhood as the rest of the kids. This, although, didn't stop him from his inventions and from being named one of the greatest inventors in our history. In the 1840s, 7 million Americans decided to expand to the West. This became a revolutionary time. People were looking for more agricultural work, mining for gold, and this also led to the Industrial Revolution that Thomas Edison perfectly fit into. He had scientific findings as well as new inventions that helped make Americans' lives easier and greater. According to History.com, in the article of Thomas Edison's inventions, he created the telegraph and the telephone, which all helped push this revolution further. He was also able to create carbon transmitters, which are also still used to this day. All of those things jump-started the Industrial Revolution and helped Americans' population and the overall quality of life increase. Thomas Edison is remembered as a revolutionary inventor. He created the light bulb, the first picture motion camera, and a carbon transmitter. Although Edison didn't directly create the light bulb, he did create a more efficient and easier to use and a safer light bulb. He was able to find ways to make the light bulb better. We're still using his model of the light bulb to this day to create better light bulbs. We create light bulbs that last longer, that are more better for the environment, and that are overall more efficient. By creating the first motion picture and camera in history, Thomas Edison was able to jumpstart a revolution of tracking history in a better way, besides writing on cave walls or writing everything in a journal. This also led to movies, as well as the creation of pictures and portraits. This overall is still used today as we have even very small cameras in our phones. The very first idea and model had to be created, and it just so happens that Thomas Edison was able to do this. Although Thomas Edison didn't have an easy start at all, he had very big illnesses in his childhood, he had major family problems. That didn't stop him. He was still able to get jobs. One of his main jobs was actually tracking newspapers and dropping them off on people's porches. His family let him pursue that because he knew that to get out into the world, he needed to see how the world and the business world worked. He also was part of a very big movement in America. When the major population was moving over to the West, he was able to help them. Although he wasn't necessarily there present in the moment, his creations and his inventions all helped and are still being used today. We still relate to Thomas Edison's inventions with the light bulb and the camera, and we know that if not for them, we don't know how long we would be without a light bulb or without light. We still have to go back to his models and look at what he was thinking and how he was thinking, and to be able to better our creations today. Overall, Thomas Edison, as you can tell, was a very big part of the Americans in the 1850s. We still, even though it was a very far time back in history, even today in the 21st century, we still refer back to him. Next, Carter will talk about another great, fantastic inventor, but he's more recent. He's going to talk about Steve Jobs and all of the amazing things that Steve Jobs did for America.